If you are somebody who is interested in real estate, listen up, guys. The website rental business is replacing physical real estate. And first and foremost, what I want to let you guys know is I'm a huge proponent of both physical real estate and digital real estate. I own, obviously, digital real estate. I own a ton of properties. And by properties, I mean websites that produce leads that I rent out to local business owners, right? But I own regular real estate. I own single family real estate. I own commercial real estate. I am actively searching for both. And I just want to make that clear up front. I'm not one way or the other. And I also want to make mention that I know there are advantages to both. There are huge advantages to physical real estate, right? There's something called depreciation where I can go and I can actually get a tax break for the depreciation that's going to occur on that property into the future and help me on taxes, right? And I can add it back in to qualify for properties. And that is something that I'm never going to be able to do with digital real estate. On the other hand, physical real estate costs me money. It costs me cash. It costs me a lot of cash to get started, right? And then I have to have my interest and all these different things. And on this hand, on the digital real estate side, it costs me pennies. It costs me peanuts to get a new property up and running. So guys, I love both. Both are assets. Both can be cash flowing assets. And I am a huge proponent of both. And I'm going to continue to invest in both. But I'm just here to tell you guys that the website rental business, Rank and Rent digital real estate, is replacing physical real estate, guys, because we are looking for, when we buy real estate, primarily most of us are looking for cash flow. Many of us have read Rich Dad, Poor Dad, which I have right here, right? Everyone has read this book. If you have not, go read it, okay? We've all read this book. We understand that the game, to get out of the rat race, to escape the hamster wheel, we have to have money coming in while we sleep. We have to have enough money coming in passively, or we could say semi-passively, that our bills are taken care of, our house payment, our car note, our insurance, our television, whatever it is that we have, those bills are covered by passive income that come from things like owning apartments and owning homes and owning commercial properties, right? And so we understand that is the game. And so we're looking for cash flow. We're always looking to increase our cash flow. And for those that don't know what I'm talking about, cash flow is simply the money that's left over after you pay all the bills on your asset, right? I know that's kind of a very basic definition, but that's the case. And so guys, for most of us, now I know some of you guys that are deep into real estate are going to, well, I'm doing it for depreciation. Guys, trust me, I'm the same way. I bought a property for depreciation at the end of last year. But guess what? If it doesn't cash flow at all, I'm not in it. I'm not going to go negative cash flow for depreciation. So we're always looking for cash flow. And I'm telling you right now that it is getting it has been extremely tough, but it's getting harder and harder and harder to find physical real estate properties that actually cash flow. And that's because the price of real estate is extremely high and the interest rate is extremely high. And so it's almost impossible. And finding a deal is extremely tough. So you could spend days and weeks and months. And I do the same thing every single night. One of the things that I do is I go into Zillow and I look and I see, is there anything added? Then I go over to whatever the LoopNet. I go over to the commercial side. Boom. Is there anything new? And I also have filters and emails coming, and I have like 2 or 3 agents sending me deals, and nothing is coming. Okay. So the reason why I'm telling you guys that what the website rental business is replacing this, if you guys don't know what I'm talking about, this is literally building websites in local markets, ranking them to the top of Google, getting phone calls, getting traffic coming in on those websites, and then renting them out just like you would rent an apartment, just like you would rent a single family home, just like you would rent a commercial office space building. The reason why it's replacing it is because you can go today and you could go create a cash flowing deal today, and not just a little bit of cash flow, a lot of cash flow, a ton of cash flow. And if you play your cards right and you get your website ranked quickly and you can get your ads brought down a little bit, you can have ridiculous freaking margins. And so what I'm seeing, at least in my personal life, and I'm seeing this with my students, I'm seeing this with the people that are involved in digital real estate that are also in physical real estate, they're looking at this going, oh my goodness, every single deal that I do, as long as I just do a little bit of simple homework and do a little bit of math, I am going to cash flow. I'm going to put in X amount. I'm going to spend, $100, $200, or maybe $500 if I'm running ads on a website per month. And I can charge $1,000, $1,200, $1,500, and I'm cash flowing $500, $750, $1,000 per month. That is almost unheard of with a single family home, right? Now, some of you guys are like, well, back in 2010 and 2008, we bought, yeah, I know. But for the most part, and most of the time, that's very, very uncommon, okay? Especially considering how much you put in. And many of us have heard this term, cash on cash return. The return you get, excuse me, on the cash that you have into the deal. And in regular real estate, that number is not very big, but in this, it's almost like an infinite return because you're putting in peanuts compared to what you're actually getting out, okay? So guys, the beautiful thing about this is you can find cash flowing deals. You could literally choose any, tried and true niche. You could throw a rock, and I'm speaking metaphorically. You could throw a rock at any niche, let's say concrete, tree service, spray foam, duct cleaning, pavers, just got up the head, like landscaping. Obviously, some of these are better than others. I'm just throwing out ideas. Concrete cutting, one of the ones I'm looking at right now. And you could go artificial grass, and you can go and find a cash flowing deal. And the beautiful part about it, another reason why this is replacing, is that we don't need a ton of cash to get one of these things up and running, to get one of these built. You can literally go, and if you're doing the work and you're doing the content and you're building the website and you're finding the images and all the above, and you're doing the sweat equity, you can go and build a property for pennies on the dollar or peanuts, okay? And you can't do that with physical real estate. And I know you can argue there's creative financing and you can do seller finance and all this different stuff, but it's not repeatable. You're gonna find those once in a blue moon. With this, you could go build a site, a property, an asset for peanuts and have it cash flow and do it again and again. And if you just take care of your client, guys, they stay with you, they're happy, they're not high maintenance, and you can just stack freaking clients, okay? What I'm telling you guys right now, I am going to always be looking for real estate. I'm always going to be looking because I love that depreciation. I love the fact that it increases in value. It has, it increases your net worth. I love all those things, okay? But as I'm looking at the landscape right now, in the current market that we're sitting in, the current economy that we're sitting in, and I'm looking, if I have 100 hours, am I going to put 100 hours into looking for a real estate deal, which they're so few and far between that I might get lucky to find one? Or am I better off right now putting those 100 hours into digital real estate, jacking up my cash flow, taking all the excess cash flow, putting it in an account to get ready for when these properties start to become more frequent, more often, more attainable? That's what I'm going to do all day long. So yes, I'm always going to keep opening Zillow and LoopNet and asking realtors and having my ear to the ground. Yes. But right now, I personally I've got a huge focus and shift on the digital real estate side so that I can stack cash. I can get that money in the coffers so I can get myself in a position that when physical real estate becomes attainable again, I'm ready and I've got moves. I've got money to go and make these moves. So guys, I am a huge believer, and you heard it here first. The website rental business is replacing physical real estate. Just if you haven't gotten started, I guess the question I would ask you is why? Why haven't you gotten started?